Good Tuesday! I spit a little.
Good Tuesday and happy noon. And you know what's interesting? When you
We both have.
Put the mic closer to the camera.
We both actually have coffee. That is the interesting thing.
So when it's close to the camera, it looks like a regular mug size, but it's actually like
what do you mean
this
when it's
big.
Close to the camera?
Like the mug, it looks like a regular size mug.
If you do that, because there's no context.
This mug is tiny.
But look at, there's no context. Look at the size. This is the size of the mug. They need contrast. Something to compare it to.
Yeah, as you guys can see though, the mug says Punta Cana. And we just got back from Punta Cana and we are happy to be here with you guys and to get back to a regular espresso schedule, damn it. So if you're happy that we're getting back finally after everything that's been going on the last couple of weeks to a regular espresso schedule, I would love it if you could just drop some kind of a favorite emoji below.
Favorite emoji below. That's me dropping my favorite emoji below because I am excited.
Yeah. We're excited to be here. We're excited to, continue producing espresso like ENS Army does, at massive levels. So starting today.
Also, look at my really cool braids.
Oh, that's right.
They try to sell you stuff on the beach there like crazy. I was like, yeah, but if the braid lady comes, I'm going to give me some braids. And sure enough, my guardian angel. What was her name?
I don't remember.
I'm going to remember. Anyways.
All right. Who is excited for full force espresso? I want to see. Elizabeth Jensen is. Ooh, that's a cute little emoji. Catherine Brown dropping bombs. Jillian, hold on. Jillian Wilson, Flex, Fire, smiley emoji. Liz Martini is blowing up the house with fire. Eldub with all the grape juice love. Amazing, amazing. Well, hey.
And then we get some people who don't follow directions and they say yes and hell yeah instead of posting emojis, which is equally as accepted. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is your favorite emoji, Maria. This is the part where I read into that. What does that mean? I'm just kidding. Then I would have to explain why the poop emoji is my favorite. So we're not going to get into that. Today we are doing a Q&A. Today's Tuesday. It's today's Q&A day.
Q&A Tuesday. Yeah, so remember, you guys, remember the form where you drop your questions and we answer any and all of your answers. If there is a question with regards to anything that you want to talk about, whether it's nutrition, fitness, relationships, Team XMD related stuff, supplementation, or maybe why Erin loves the poop emoji so much. You guys can this is your opportunity to get up close and personal with us. Like we are going to read all of these questions.
Well, I mean, that depends on how many there are, because if it gets out of hand, we're going to have to choose the ones that the answer would serve the most amount of people.
Well, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
But I just had an idea. Q&A form on our website. Duh. So more people can find it. Anyways, all right. So we shall get to the first question. The first question comes from Lori Heckle in Georgia.
Okay.
Sarit swears we didn't answer this one last time, so she's probably right.
I don't know.
But I remember reading it, so I wasn't sure if we had answered it. So if we have already, you can let us know. But I'm pretty sure this is a new question.
Mm-hmm.
Lori Heckle from Georgia. Is there a specific time that I should be eating dinner? I'm eating the same time every day, minus the occasional life happens stuff. 9 a.m. to 10, protein shake. 3 o'clock, lunch. 7 o'clock, burn zone workout. 7:30 to 8, dinner. 10:30 p.m., 1.5 mile fur baby walk. That's my schedule every day. Do you think I would benefit more if I changed the times for an earlier time for all minus the fur baby walk? P.S. I do not snack throughout the day. My meals hold me over until the next one.
This is a great question, and I'm really happy that you gave us some,
Detail.
context, because the answer, because everybody's different, it will depend on the context. So seeing the context, I would tell you that I really like that schedule because you're eating right after you've had a solid workout. Which means that your body is, getting the fuel that it needs. Um, and what I would normally ask the person is, depending on your body composition and your goals, like what is the time frame between dinner and your bedtime, and what is it that your dinner looks like. So I can tell you that based on how everything looks great. My only question for you is, what do you normally have for dinner? Especially because this is a, post workout. Definitely get some veggies in, definitely get some protein in, a healthier form of carbs, and some fat, a healthier fat as well. That would be great. What I really like that you're doing as well is that you said at the very beginning, I'm eating at the same time every day, which tells me that you're consistent. And if that is something that, okay, Lori, cool. Depending on your goals, maybe like also add some quinoa or sweet potatoes to it as well. And I would love to know if you have any like nighttime snacks. If no nighttime snacks,
She said I do not snack throughout the
Great.
day, but maybe at night. I don't know.
Great. It sounds like you're just consistent, which is awesome.
You did great answering this for Lori. And Lori, the only thing I would really emphasize in this is going to, of course, be for what purpose.
Yeah.
Always for what purpose. People will say, hey, what do I need to do to achieve, or like, what do I need to do with X, Y, or Z? And the answer always is, what are we trying to accomplish? Because the answer will vary depending on what we're trying to accomplish. So now, if you said to be healthy, there's going to be one answer, and that answer is going to be different than if you said, because I've been looking into doing intermittent fasting and I don't know, whatever else, right? Or because I want to get really big muscles, or because I want to have really good endurance, or because I want to lose weight. All of these things are going to maybe have a varied answer. So that's that. Sarit said one major thing, the consistency looks good. If you're doing that every day, you're consistent. The question is, then just the details. I want to answer this I want to answer pieces that people may have additional questions about when hearing this question. Talking about meal timing, it's very easy I want to use the goal of weight loss, because most of the goals that people have in relation to their body composition is weight loss, fat loss. So this is a great example. If somebody is wanting to lose weight and they're talking about a specific time that they should eat anything, the question I ask is that your biggest problem? Is the timing of when you're eating the biggest roadblock? Or is there something else that we could maybe tackle first that would make a bigger impact and is more important? Because oftentimes we hear, you know, a video like this or an answer like this, and somebody's like, "Oh, the best time to eat is, you know, within this amount of time of waking up," or you know, you can hear and read everything across the map on the internet. People will be telling you intermittent fast, do not eat for a certain period of time. Some people will tell you you have to eat within a certain amount of time of waking up, within a certain amount of time of finishing your workout. You know, okay, the most optimal time to eat a fruit is okay. So, but for what purpose? So, as much as you could take a video like this and be like, oh, I see, I need to eat at this time or that time, you first need to ask, does the timing actually matter? Or do I just need to stop having bottomless mimosas every single Sunday, followed by a donut? Because that could be contributing to a lack of results, more so than the timing, because it doesn't matter what time you are drinking bottomless mimosas and eating donuts, it is still the same amount of not effective for weight loss. Okay, so that answers a potential question in regards to, like, is timing the actual most important thing? Then we look at throughout the day, should I be snacking or not snacking? Lori doesn't snack. Lori, right? Yeah. Lori doesn't snack. Should I not be snacking? Well, do we know the size of Lori's meals? Maybe she eats less bigger meals throughout the day and doesn't snack. Maybe somebody else would be better eating some smaller meals throughout the day, but snacking in between. Then you have to ask yourself, am I intentionally structuring it this way, or am I planning to only eat a few meals, but I'm just having some snacks because I feel like it, or because I'm emotional, or because I feel extra hungry, or whatever the reason? So at the end of the day, really, how's your side conversation?
I'm having a few side comments. No, you're doing
I-
great. You're doing great.
So I got so distracted.
Okay, I will stop.
I don't know what I was saying.
You do know what you were saying.
I don't know what I was saying.
But you were also answering a side question that is more generalized in the first place.
I asked a few side questions. So Sarit cannot do two things at one time. So
Right.
when thinking about all of these tiny details, what time do I eat? How many meals do I eat? Should I eat fruit at night? Should I stop eating at a certain time of night? Do I have to eat right when I wake up? Like, all these things, are they actually the biggest problem, or is the biggest problem that you don't know how to say no to things you should say no to if you want to reach your goal? That's basically the blanket statement. Sums it up.
Yeah. So just to fill you in on
Yes, please.
I was having two side conversations. Jamie Lowe was cracking up jokes about when she can eat a gallon of ice cream and still lose weight. And I'm like, I like this question because I know that you're kidding. Because
yeah, the answer, it's always never.
Always never. Yes. And then Lori was also saying that sometimes she has fruit with dinner. So, you know, I said, well, in that case, you may want to, you know, like, we may not need the brown rice. So I asked her if she has her hands on the custom nutrition platform. Based on your goals and where you're at, if we have a little bit more data, we can create for you a custom nutrition platform that will tell you exactly, based on where you're at, how many servings of carbs you need. And that will basically be able to tell you, okay, well, should I actually have my brown rice after that? Simply just because I don't have that information. Could be a yes, could be a no. So Lori, in the case that you do want to get the custom nutrition platform, you can do so. Would you mind, Danny, would you mind sending Lori the link for that? in the case that she does. And, for anybody who does want to get their hands on a custom nutrition platform, just go ahead and message Danny.
Or is Danny posting the link?
Or maybe Danny can post a link.
Whichever thing.
Yeah.
Were you having a side conversation with Melissa also?
No, that just
Okay.
started when you called me.
So what about if you don't have an eating schedule because you have to fit it in when you can, but you have your food with you at your job or at your work?
That's a great question.
That's
This
a
is
great
why
question.
you need to create a food schedule regardless of that. Because here's the thing, you guys. When you have a lot of things going on, like imagine a tornado. There's a lot of force moving around. And then when the tornado comes to your house, what does that do? It shatters it immediately. But when you have consistency in a foundation, when there is a tornado going around, right? The house is going to be fine. Maybe the roof will come off, depending on what foundation we're talking about. Now, please know I'm not a building engineer or anything of that sort. So if you are, you can also feel free to call me out on that. I'm just trying to give you guys an analogy. But, this is exactly why, for everybody, you need to make it a point to create an eating schedule, or just a schedule, how do I take care of me today? What do I need to do for me today? Because if you're grounded and you're anchored, and we know that this is what life looks like, the tornado, right? And when life is happening and you're grounded, guess what? You are a lot more likely to stay grounded regardless of the chaos. And the longer time that you've been grounded, the more solid you're going to stick to the foundation when the tornado shows up. Because, shitstorms hit us on a regular basis. It's how are we responding to it that will make the biggest impact. Remember, what's the quote? It is not the weight that breaks the something down, but it's how we carry it. It is not the weight.
I know what you're saying.
Oh my gosh.
It's not the weight that like breaks your back, but the way you carry, or something like that.
Yeah, look, you guys, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% like how you respond to it.
Can I share a story?
Yeah.
Can I share a story? Thank you. So I used to be very competitive in the CrossFit world, and whenever we'd go into a workout, it's not only how fit are you, how strong are you, how fast are you, it's how well do you strategize and play into your strengths. And when the timer counts down, for those who understand CrossFit, they say athletes stand by, and then there's like 3 seconds, and then there's this beep and you go. Or they say 3, 2, 1, go. And everybody starts to work out at the same time. You're either trying to do something as fast as possible, or you're trying to do something as heavy as possible, or you're trying to stay in the game longer than the rest of the people, or you're trying to accomplish the most amount of work in the same amount of time as everybody else. So there's always some kind of measurable something. And so you have to go, every workout I would go into, I would think, okay, there's this movement, this movement, this movement. And this is like your day. Okay, I've got to take the kids to school. I got to get to work. And you're planning out the steps, right? And you're preparing ahead of time. So, okay, I need this food, that food. Maybe I should have this in my car. It's not going to go bad. It can stay in the car. I'll be fine. I got to take these. Maybe I need a little lunchbox. And you start thinking about like, okay, what am I good at? What do I have available? What can I do? And as we be going through the workout, I have a plan in my mind. I have a plan if it's, X number of wall balls, which is a squat, and then you throw this ball up to a target and you squat and you throw and you squat. And throw. Okay, we got to do this many of those, and then we got to do however many pull-ups, and then we got to do whatever. And I'm thinking through my head, what is my threshold? Where can I find the red line and just live underneath it? Because once you go over the red line, the tornado, all hell breaks loose. So you have to find out, where's my red line? How close can I get to it and then just ride it right there until the end, right? So, okay, there's a certain amount of pacing. How many reps of something am I going to do before I take a break? And you have this sort of plan, but you don't know how something's going to turn out until you do it. One thing that I love about CrossFit is usually, or most of the time, the workout's not the same workout that you've done before, most of the time. And so you never know. It's like a learning game all the time. And it's great for mental activity because you're always having to figure out, what am I capable of? What can I do? How can I push myself here? And so in life, you have these set of things that happen in a day that you either plan for or you sort of plan for. And here's how you plan. You prepare for the worst. Everybody says, hope for the best, expect the worst. No, do not expect the worst.
If you expect the worst, the worst will happen.
If you expect the worst will happen. Do not expect the worst. Hope for the best, yes. Prepare for the worst, just in case, and expect some motherfucking surprises along the way. So then you do your best and you become flexible. So, you have to go into each day thinking, some shit could go sideways. That's normally how it goes. And when you expect it, then you're not so surprised when it happens. So you prepare your day. I got all this stuff. Cool. I'm going to try to take a lunch break here. I'm going to have this stuff prepared, but it might not go that way. Right? Oh, maybe there's handstand walks in the workout, and I thought I was going to be really good at them, but after I did 100 of these, my handstand walks didn't go the way that I planned because my shoulders are tired. Oops, didn't expect that. So then how do I adjust? Okay, couldn't eat my lunch here. Couldn't eat my lunch at this time. How do I adjust? Where can't I, so you have a plan or a sort of plan, but then you have to expect that there needs to be some kind of flexibility within there. But if you don't make a plan at all, you're doomed. So anyways, it's a very long-winded answer.
Yeah. I want to just share with you guys a little coach's corner right here. A very common thing that we hear from people is, I was so good until when, or if I only had more time, I would. And when I hear that, there's one thing that goes through my head. You just don't have the skill set, or maybe the commitment, maybe both, in order to make it happen. Because you guys, I will tell you this from personal experience and from the experience of, our coaches who've been through, all of them have been through our programs. That's why they're in the position that they're in today. And our clients, that they will tell you the same thing. I used to be just like that.
I would do good.
Imagine if we lived in a world where you were taught these things in school. Now, don't worry, we will take care of that in a couple of years.
Escuela ENS.
Yes. Just a side question. If we were to create the School of ENS for your kids, for anybody who's a parent, where we will teach them real, life skills that will help them to prepare for the future, so they don't have to start learning that shit when they're in their 30s or 40s, so that, we can get them on the right track sooner. Would that be something that would be of interest to you? La escuela de sorry. Hell yes. Okay. I want to see how many hell yeses we're going to get to that. But what did I want to share with you guys? Yeah, when I hear that, I'm like, dude, you just haven't learned, or maybe you haven't, you're just not committed. So there's a lot of mindset that goes into it, and there is also a lot of mechanics that go into it. And the reality is that you want to harmonize both. You want to harmonize both, because you can know everything in the world, but if you are not willing to implement it, to go out of your way, so that you can plan for it, because it takes energy to plan for things. Do you get? That's why most people don't ever like, bring lunch with them. It's a lot easier to do, how do you call it, Grubhub or whatever.
It is one of them, I think. Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah, it's so much easier to do that, and that's what most people do. Like what you see most people do, you actually want to stay away from.
Because you know what most people means? Most people means the average.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would like to be average, it's not an insult. That's completely up to you. Most of the people I think in this community come because they don't want to be the average. By the way, the average in America is declining. So I'm just going to put that out there.
Jillian Wilson, I don't have kids, but may I attend? You sure may attend. The good
This
news,
is an all ages.
The good
school.
news is that, like, if you're not yet a child, we already offer these programs. I'm not sure if you've been through our programs or you are in it, but she should.
Jillian?
Yeah.
Jillian's coming to the live event on the boat.
Ooh. Yeah, but is she currently in any of our programs?
The Raw.
Okay, great.
Yes, the Raw.
Awesome. So Jillian, you're doing it. You're learning the steps.
You are in the Escuela del Erin y Sarit.
Yes.
Las tijeras y papel. Escuchen, miren, levántense, siéntense. This is why I got a D in Spanish, because that's all the words I remember.
Do you remember? So on Saturday we went to an excursion and we were walking through the park and we were reading this thing. What was it? The blue jump. Saltar azul. And we were like, what does saltar means? And I was like, I think if I remember, it means jump. But I just remember how you, me, and Crystal were just like walking. We have no idea, meanwhile, what we're about to get ourselves into. They probably did, but if you know me like a little bit, you know that I'm a complete scaredy cat, and maybe if you're lucky, you would see some of that documented, because you would just laugh.
I know when they say, "Oh, you speak Spanish," because I faked them out, right? Said something, muy bien, ¿y tú? Like everybody knows that. Hola, mi llamo es Erin. Okay. Tu nombre es, right? Like third grade level Spanish. They're like, "Oh, you speak Spanish?" And then I fake them out again. I say, poquito español. Fake them out.
And then they start to speed it up.
And then they're like, la, 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 la. And I'm like, okay. Enough. ¿Cómo se dice? Enough. No más. Yo no comprendo.
No más.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what does that mean?
What does
Me encanto tu español, Erin.
What does that mean, Erin? Oh, I totally know what it means.
No.
Scissors, paper.
No, this.
Oh.
This. Read what she said.
Oh, I know. Me encanta tu español. I can teach you Spanish, Erin.
No, I like your Spanish.
Oh,
she gave you
I totally guessed.
When in doubt.
It's a good guess, right?
When in doubt, if you don't know the language, just look cute and smile. And you will get the point.
I watched Bridesmaids with no audio on the plane because I know what they're saying and I know the movie, so I didn't need the audio. I knew what was going on. And the part where she gets on the stage, le con something beber. That's what I feel like when I speak Spanish. All right. Anyways, you guys are awesome. That was a lot of stuff for one question.
All right.
What do you think?
Are you guys happy that Full Force Espresso is back?
Practical and cautious. Oh gosh.
Practical.
All right, you guys.
One more.
One more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
We're gonna do one more.
We're gonna do one more. This one is from Miss.
This one is from she's in the
Trisha
house.
Weeks.
Trisha Weeks from Ohio.
Hey guys, so I am training for a 10K and getting better and running, jogging for a longer time period. My question of the day for you, Trisha, is who are you? My question is, what is the best way to warm up and cool down before and after my WOG, aka walk runs? I've heard it's better to do a dynamic warm up versus stretching. So I have been doing the following: 4-inch warms with a push up, 8 quadruped thoracic rotations.
Oh, it sounds like
I know that
like
somebody's in the UTC. 8 forward lunges with reach and 8 forward lunges with a twist, followed by some butt kicks and knee ups.
You did not get any of that from Liz, did you?
My cool down is I walk back home, which is usually 5 minutes. Thanks for your belief in me and what you do. Aw. It is our duty and obligation to believe in you to the extent that you allow us to. Okay, this is great.
So the question is, I want to reframe it. So for anybody, if before you do any kind of workout, are we talking about should I do dynamic stretching, which means there's a stretch and a contract, a stretch and a relax, and it's done multiple times. So a dynamic stretch would be like a high kick, right? Your hamstring stretches, you bring it back down and you do it multiple times versus a static stretch, which is a stretch and hold. There are two different physiological responses to each of these respective types of warm-up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So love the fact that you're starting, before you get to the workout, you start with a dynamic warm-up. Dynamic warm-up is super important. Now, depending on whatever you've got going on, after your dynamic warm-up, you may want to do some kind of static stretch. Now, one of the purposes of the dynamic warm-up is to, loosen up and warm up your muscles at the same time. So that, let's say if you have really tight ankles, do you guys know that like ankle stretch, like either that calf stretch against the wall, right? Like that, for example, that is not a dynamic stretch. But if you know that you have really tight calves or really tight ankles and you will benefit from that, do your dynamic warm up first. And then you get to that. And Trisha, to also, answer your question in more detail, what I would like to know is if you have any sort of, in your joints, any sort of susceptibility to injury or anything of that sort. For some of you guys, because it all depends, right? Like you may want to, roll your ankles, you may want to do some calf stretches, that sort of thing. But when starting, before you start any,
roll your ankles,
that thing,
I did that a lot when I was skateboarding. I don't think I want to do that anymore.
Roll them.
That's called the stanky leg. Yeah,
roll your ankles.
You guys know you do this little thing with your foot.
Yeah, we do that a lot in the burn zone. And by the way, we did that exact same thing in the burn zone. Like we would always walk you through a dynamic warm up first. But if you need any particular stretch, make that happen after your dynamic warm up.
Why?
Because your muscles are already warmer and looser.
I want to add another piece to this. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 main types of like stretching or muscle activity that is done not in the workout itself, right? Static stretching, dynamic stretching, and myofascial release, aka foam rolling. Self myofascial release. Myofascia is fascia is a material. I'm not going to get sciencey, but it basically is like the casing around.
How dare you?
Hold on. I have a funny joke. It's like the casing around a sausage for your muscle.
It is.
That's not a joke. This is a really funny analogy.
For sure.
So when you foam roll, you're trying to get some movement and some lubrication and trying to unstick all of the fascia that encases your muscle, because that can actually tear and rip and get damaged as well. So anyways,
And when that gets damaged,
It's bad.
it makes us more susceptible to injury.
Yeah. So when do we do these? So static stretching and the foam rolling are two types of stretches that can, not always are going to, but can hinder your actual workout. If a muscle experiences a good deal of pain because of pressure, so like foam rolling, if you go foam roll your quad and you're putting so much pressure on it that the muscle is in pain, like it hurts, like on a scale of 1 to 10. I know y'all been there where you're like trying to roll and you're like, and if you have to make faces, then it's too much before a workout. Because what happens is your muscle, like you can actually deactivate your muscle's ability to contract because of the state that you put it in. So then you go try to do squats or lunges or step ups or anything with your legs, your muscle's not actually working optimally because it's guarded itself. So there's that. Same with static stretching. If you stretch really far, like if you stretch hard and it hurts, like you're bringing pain, then same thing happens. So dynamic is always the best before a workout, and then static is going to be better after a workout usually. Foam rolling can be done on either side. I would just say if it's before a workout, like don't make it be painful. Use it to just get some movement, like get some motion happening, get your muscles to feel themselves. But you don't want to cause like such a stretch or pressure that it creates pain before you go work out.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that's helps clear some things up.
Trisha said, fucking hurts. That's why I avoid it. That's why you should probably start doing it just a little bit. Because once you start doing it, it'll hurt just a little bit less. That's probably because your fascia is like, F you.
It's so wound up. It's like a ball of yarn. Like when that shit gets all messed up and tangled, and
after your cat played with it,
you just get so pissed. You're like, I can't, and it's all knotty and nasty, and that's what happens to the casing around your muscles. So it is good and beneficial to do it. Yes, it is freaking painful. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But it never gets any less painful unless you do it consistently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Claire made a good point. She said it also depends on what type of foam roll do you use.
If you're first starting, it almost doesn't matter. That shit's gonna hurt.
The soft one.
You could use like the wicked cheap soft one, like the white one, and it will still hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But it also has to do with how much pressure do you put on it. But then there's like ones that I call them ribbed for your pleasure, but they have like knots on them or bumps, or
those ones are hardcore.
Yeah, those I wouldn't start with that.
And just an FYI, you guys, for any of you who are starting to foam roll, like if you're like, this is really painful, something that I would strongly encourage you to do is start hydrating a little bit more. So, because your fascia will become easier to work with the more hydrated you are. And a good way to test how hydrated you are is like, for example, like if you press your finger way down, if it goes back to its regular thing, like ASAP, you're fine. But like do it on your shin. On your shin, it would be best. But if you're like, ooh, it takes it like a couple of like seconds or whatever, yeah, you're totally fine. Then you're not hydrated enough, and it will totally manifest in your fascia, because this is really like you're working with dried up fascia, and it's like, imagine when you grind it out, it's like it takes so much force in order for it to get back to its place. So if you want it to be more receptive, to be better receptive, just increase your hydration. You know, drink more water, drink better water.
I'm gonna make a plug. Yeah, like
Hydro.
get the hydro from X Endurance. A lot of you guys already order that stuff. Get the hydro sticks or the hydro lemon lime, whatever. If you don't already get it, reach out to either me or Sarit or one of the people on our team. We can figure out a way for you to get a discount on it. It's really hands down like the most. It's not just electrolytes. You know, a lot of companies come out with just like electrolyte drinks, but then there's also some kind of like, oh my gosh.
Joe's got jokes today.
So anyways, whatever I was saying is irrelevant because that was funny. So everybody forgot about it. Yeah.
Epic. All right, you guys, that does it for Q&A Tuesday. Tomorrow is
Whatever Wednesday.
And we're going to be talking about whatever we want. So yeah.
Invite your friends. It's a great place.
Yeah, invite your friends. I want to give a huge shout out to Melissa. I saw that halfway through today's espresso. You're like shared it on Facebook. I appreciate you sharing the word. You guys, we do this for you guys and for the sake of making a bigger, better impact, because that is the name of the game. We know that people need to hear it. So all that we ask is, you know, if you found value in today's conversation, just go ahead and share it with someone who will find it beneficial. And also, I will tell you this, if you've shared it a bunch of times and people are like, what is it with you sharing all these things? Good. That's how you know that you're doing the right thing. So just keep on doing that and lean into us, because we get you, we feel you, and we appreciate you. All right.
And we will see you mañana.
Mañana a las 12.
12
ENS time.
12-ish.
Bye.
Bye, guys.